it would have been easy to stay in Vermont or Italy, but coming back to New Jersey was really important to me because it's my home place. I wanted to make sure that people know where their food comes from, because really I think knowing the farmers, and connecting to the land is really one of the few ways that we can work to sustain agriculture. I mean, people really need to care about where the food's coming from. They need to, care that there are farmers in our community. Mike Azzara, I go by Mikey. I'm 27 years old now, just turned 27. Work for NOFA, New Jersey, Northeast Organic Farming Association. I am the outreach coordinator. I've been with NOFA for almost 3 years now. Transitioned into NOFA from full-time farming, Cherry Grove Organic Farm in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, and basically as outreach coordinator, run all of the educational programs for both the farmers, the gardeners, as well as the consumers, and a lot of stuff with young people. So all the educational programs, as well as the newsletter, the website, building up members for the organic farming and sustainable farming community in New Jersey. So the way that I got interested in organic farming was up at college in Middlebury, Vermont, a place called Middlebury College, and I was living in the environmental studies house and just started questioning where our food came from in order to be as sustainable as possible. And so in order to answer that question, what is organic, I traveled to Italy. I was working on a bunch of different farms through willing workers on organic farms, and was growing grapes, lavender, olives, vegetables, and it was there that I got hooked, kind of finding just meaning in the work I was doing with the satisfaction I got from just working really hard. So in terms of the farm aid concert, right now we're out at Pheasant Hill Farm. We're touring a bunch of farms in, I'll say, New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And so leading up to the event is really where Farm Aid focuses on these events. So we've been helping them coordinate. Yesterday we just brought a bunch of farmers. I helped coordinate all farmers into Camden area schools. So we brought the farmers in, they talked about their farms, the kids asked questions. Most importantly, they brought food into the classroom for the kids to taste. So Bob Muth, he brought peppers and tomatoes. Kelly Harding, he brought some of his ground beef. And so we got the kids eating these tiny little hamburgers so they could taste grass-fed meats while they're, listening to the farmer speak about them, saying you are what you eat. And you are what you eat eats, meaning, the cows are eating the grass, so, everything's coming from the earth, and, in a sense, you're eating the grass that those cows ate. So, that was yesterday. Today, organized a bunch of New Jersey farmers to get on this bus tour, and then tomorrow is a major event, most importantly, the show. Neil Young, Dave Matthews, Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, that's the 4 board members, plus 10 other bands. And then, I'm honored that they actually asked me to be part of the press conference, the press event with those 4 guys. So I'll be talking with an organic dairy farmer from Vermont, organic farmers from Pennsylvania, a woman who's starting a food co-op, and the theme of that is young farmers. So definitely happy to represent the youth movement towards farming, agriculture, this way of life. In terms of the future, I've got lots and lots of visions. Reintegrating food and agriculture into schools. I'm thinking about a garden at every school in Lawrence Township, Lawrenceville, where I'm living, and then a garden at every school in New Jersey. And I think that's one of our major challenges is training young people, to view, training them, but also getting people to view farming as, a very credible way of making a living. And so starting, very similar to the culinary institutes of the world, how people get into cooking is starting, sustainable agriculture institutes. Restaurants throughout New Jersey featuring local ingredients from the farms, promoting the farms. Basically really building a community around food.